Hi, guys. Welcome back. Today I have Marzio Cuomo from sunny California. He is originally from Naples, Italy. Nice. And he is a real estate investor, a buyer, and a fellow Subto community member. Welcome, Marzio.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. So, let's start with when did you join Sub 2 and why? What led you to join Sub 2?
I joined, I think at the end of June, sometime in June. And the reason I joined is because I own a few real estate properties, and I did the conventional way of buying properties, putting
Uh-huh.
25% down, 30%, especially if it's not your principal house. So investment loans usually they require about 30%. So I bought two properties, and I put a lot of equity in there, and that's when it's sitting. And I found myself cash poor. All my money was tied up in properties, and I wanted to invest in more properties. So I started searching online and figure out creative financing and stuff like that. I I had some experience with seller financing before, so I knew that there is people out there that are open-minded on creative financing as a seller, and we just trying to figure out a better way to do it. And just social media. I joined Bigger Pockets first, and there
Ah,
can give me some ideas, but they still, even the Burr strategies still require that down payment and do the usual thing, which I was still struggling. I still didn't have the down payments. So from there, somehow pays more than this.
where
Uh,
did you find him? Did you see him on Bigger Pockets or was it YouTube
I don't
or
know. I think it was on YouTube, and I think it was from just targeting that he has. I mean, his things consistently showed up in my feeds, and
Ah,
I kept skipping it for the first year or two. I was like, oh, "This guy is so annoying." And it was actually was not annoying. Just I was like, oh, another guru. I already paid Bigger Pockets, and but I knew he was saying something that I was not as familiar with subject to loans. I heard of them, and I decided to one day I just clicked on it and let it play the whole thing, and it just triggered me a little bit. It intrigued me, and I clicked on the next video, and I started learning a lot from it. And it took me at least a year before I even made my own investment. I had money in my bank. I invested into other property, and I and then I clicked on it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so." I
like why have I
wish I
been
waited it, and
for a year, right?
I wait for a whole year, and now that I'm learning so much. I just
Yeah, we've been taught that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, which is true sometimes, but it can also kind of make you block things off that are
yeah,
totally legit.
yeah,
And the whole thing is, this is not a new process. Some creative finance is actually a lost art,
yeah,
really. I mean, it's the original way that real estate used to be bought and sold.
yeah, and also the community. I have to say, after joining Sub two, I find a lot of people like you. I met you in the Sub two community. It's very welcoming and very supportive, and everybody try to help each other move forward and grow. There is nobody. Um, if anybody's struggling and can ask a question, there is no stupid question. Everybody's going to stop what they're doing and take the time to show you or talk to you about go through it all. minimum they'll tell you where to find the answer. That's the minimum that you they. But somebody will stop and help you out.
It's like you join it for real estate, and then when you get in, you're like, oh, the real gold here is not just the real estate, it's also the community itself.
Yeah, I yeah, I'm actually learning a lot also about myself. To be honest, I do have a real estate license that I don't use much, and the more I learn the creative finance, the more I wish I didn't have a license. And uh, I'm
There's a
learning a
lot
lot.
of good things a license can do, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I learned that I suck as a salesperson, and I'm learning. I'm
No,
learning.
I
I
don't.
thought I was. I know. I thought I was better than what I am. But seeing myself in the Zooms and participating into the role play, I find that I struggle more than I thought, and I'm learning more. And it makes me more humble and reset a little bit, so that I'm restarting from a beginner point,
Yeah.
relearning certain things because even just conversation with sellers or agents or it just everything has opened up for me, and I'm still learning. It's still a learning process, but I don't
I
know.
think that's most people's story. I
Yeah,
feel like most people, there may be a select few who don't really feel like that, but I think most of us, when we first get into this, kind of feel the same way. Like, oh, I'm
yeah,
not as good at this. But if you just do consistent practice, it'll come.
yeah.
Definitely.
I found that admitting the first it was the first step to move forward. Just admit
Yeah.
that you need to reset and start a few steps back and relearn some stuff. Uh, so
Yeah. Um, I'd sell my house to you. I'll tell you that right now.
I also find that having an accent, um, I'm always been self-conscious because I moved from southern Italy to northern Italy when I was 10 years old. So
Aw,
I've always had an accent to anywhere I've been.
it's a nice
And,
accent.
and I
We
still have an
love
accent
that accent.
when I go back to Italy, I have a foreign accent. So
When you go
uh,
back to Italy, you have like there's like an American twist on your
yes,
accent.
yes. So they know I'm not from there anymore. So and um, for a long time I've been very self-conscious and kind of um, I don't know, kind of
I don't
not
know
being
why.
as comfortable. But as I do like cold calling, and I see some people hang up on me, and some people just are open minded, and I can kind of break through the barrier a little bit easier to some with some people because
Mhm.
they have to listen a little bit more carefully on what I'm saying. I don't mind repeating things, and I don't know. It, it's another layer of things that I'm learning about myself and how to.
We'll have to make some calls together.
Yeah, we've done it before, right?
Like off of the podcast. We'll have to make some
Yeah.
calls together.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
actually working on recording myself when I make phone calls, so that one day I can start
So,
posting them.
did you know that Zoom has a new feature now? They're trying to compete with all the other stuff out there. So I just kind of happened onto it. I was opening up Zoom one day and it said clips, CLIPS.
Oh,
And it
okay.
said just hit record. So, like, if you just want to do a short video of yourself or whatever, you just click record
Okay.
and it'll just like record you. And you could use that like to make phone calls or to do YouTube shorts or Facebook or Instagram reels or whatever.
Okay. I was doing that. I'm doing the recording with Zoom, but I didn't know it does clips, and I
Yep.
haven't even tried to see if I can export it to YouTube. But
Yeah, you don't even have to be on a meeting. You can just hit record and just
yeah,
do it like that.
so,
I'll show you. It's
okay,
really cool. Welcome back, though. I know you just came back from Italy, so welcome back.
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. We missed ya.
Yep.
So, how do you feel about the future of Subto and your role in this process?
Well, sometimes, like we all know, it's subject to financing, so it's one of the many ways you can buy properties.
Well, yeah, Subto meaning the name of the community.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. The community, it's great. It's growing. I wish I joined when I first found out. It was like the first maybe 300, 500 people. Now it's
It's a
over
double-edged
10,000.
sword. It's like in the beginning, you really got to work with pace and learn from the really, you would have been a seasoned veteran by now. But
Yeah,
at the same time, the upside of that is that because there's so many of us now and more joining every day. I mean, the
yeah,
number is growing at a staggering rate. That now this whole creative finance thing is becoming less and less unknown, if
yeah,
that makes sense. More people are finding out about it and about it being
yeah.
resurrected and stuff. And so it's, yeah. Do you feel like this creative finance process is going to get more and more popular, or do you think it's going to die out eventually?
Well, with interest rate like the way it is, the market is the way it is now, it seems like it will stay around for a while. And like you're saying, it probably will create um, more knowledge around in the market of a different way of buying or selling properties. Um, and well, yeah, I think it will stay around for a while, especially with the interest rate this high. And now we have this crazy commission on real estate agents. So that's going to throw a curveball on marketing too, because some agents maybe not put as much work, or I don't know. That's a different curveball.
It makes it hard. I think that's going to go in our favor, not so much the favor for, you know,
Yeah,
realtors who represent buyers, but it's going to make it harder in the affordability department because, before the listing agent or somebody who was selling their home and who was going to be making a profit
hmm,
would offer a commission to a buyer's agent for bringing a buyer to the deal. So
yeah,
the buyer would have little to no commission that they would have to pay on their end. And then, of course, closing costs and things like that. But it made it more affordable for first time home buyers, especially
yeah,
because they didn't have to save up so much and wait so long. But also, just in general, buyers in general.
yeah. I think we'll see. It's so new that there is nothing, no new regulations or
Yeah, and
new.
I don't think they're exactly taking that process away. I think what they're doing is kind of leaving it open ended so a seller can, or
Yeah,
I haven't really been following it, honestly, because I just am so focused on this.
yeah. So yeah, I agree.
Are you still doing like things in a realtor fashion or?
I not really. I never really represented buyers. I've
Mm,
always done sellers. I do go out and door knock and try to get some. I just door knock on neighbors and just
uh-huh.
do every single door. So whether it's a probate, and if I go there in like a pre foreclosure, I also door knock on all the neighbors and see if somebody wants.
So I wonder if is this like process the way that people purchase real estate over in like Italy? I'm wondering how the rest of the world does things. I know that Puerto Rico
Yeah,
does creative financing. That's pretty
yeah.
much the only way.
No, in Italy too they do it. They are starting to do um, pre foreclosures and short sale. Is becoming very popular.
In Italy?
Yeah,
Oh.
and assignment of contracts. That's becoming big too. They're
Uh-huh. See,
going,
it's spreading.
they're going to the short sale, getting a contract with the bank, and then flip that contract right before it closes. And it's all done by notary. There is no lawyers, no escrow. It's just
So when you go over there, I am so sorry. I'm talking about putting your phone on vibrate, and then I didn't. When you go over to see your parents, um, maybe you can do some real estate deals when you're over there.
yeah. I was looking at some properties when I was there. It's just a little hard because it's based on trust a lot of it, and or if you're buying property, the banks are really stingy in making loans. It's really hard.
Right. So let's get some creative finance. I would love to have a place over in Italy. I have a
Yeah,
sister that lives
I've been
in Germany.
looking. I've been looking in Tuscany, around the Garda Lake. Those are two good areas for, you know, tourism, for short-term rentals,
Hmm.
um, or just rental in general. Um, Tuscany is the most popular place to go. Definitely,
Yeah.
lots of tourists like that area. Um, Amalfi Coast, I would say it is great, but it's a very small area and it's controlled by few. So it's really hard to get into that. And there is some, don't want to deal with that. But Tuscany is definitely good. And Lake Como would be a good place too, around the Lake Como. Lake Garda is where my family lives, and I'm very familiar with that area. Um,
Forgive me, I'm so sheltered, but do they have things like, I mean, I'm sure they got to have like RV parks and stuff like that over there.
yeah, the only thing is that RV parks there are very, very clean. They have very clean, like fancy showers and bathrooms, and they have restaurants, and they have, so it's like going away from home to another home. I like
Yeah.
the rural way of camping here in the States, where you
I
know,
want you to send me pictures next time.
yeah, and my sister boyfriend works in one of those campsites along the lake, and they just they have a lawn. It's all nice and clean cut. It's too
Yeah.
easy for my style. I like this the American way. It's like it's very
Next
rural.
time,
You got a fire pit, and you just camp and enjoy it.
next time your sister goes, tell her to send you some pictures and then
Yeah,
forward them to me.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your passions and areas of focus in real estate and in sub two?
Passions.
Yeah, your passions and area of focus. Like, what's your favorite type of real estate investing transaction, or like your favorite exit strategies? Like, are you looking for pad splits? Are you looking for midterm rentals? Like,
I'm doing long term rentals for now, just because I'm looking at the long term goal of holding
mhm.
on, buy and hold. Uh, but since I joined the sub two, I'm starting with assigning contracts
Yeah,
because I
that's
need to build up some of that little cash to use as a down payment or repairs.
Yeah, that's usually the way that's recommended to start. To
Yeah,
first to get assignment fees, build up a little bank, so then you can, graduate to like buy and holds, and then it comes to like multifamily, RV parks, things like that.
yeah. I just
But
closed. I think we're closing the first one I got involved with either today or within the
oh, are
next
you
day or
closing your
two.
first one?
Yeah, I was a joint team. I was the
It was
lead
a
generator
JV.
because I was calling agents, DTA, and then part of my team dealt with Dispo and everything else. So I'm getting a little single digit uh, payout, but it was
Mhm.
just a learning experience. It took about since
I'm gonna
August.
get some of those poppers, so when somebody says they do the first deal, I can go pop and it'll confetti everywhere.
So we got this deal in August. So we had a couple of buyers dropping out and all kind of things happened and learning experience and patience and see your assignment fee get smaller every time somebody cancels. And
Yeah, it's pretty tricky
yeah,
because there's like so many moving parts,
yeah,
and the moving parts can change from transaction to transaction. That's why it's creative.
and some
And
mistakes in the paperwork that I
uh-huh.
was not involved in, but I saw it at the end or as
It's
it
rough
proceeded.
starting out because
Yeah,
you're going slower because you're in a learning process, and you are still learning what people will work well for you. I mean, having a really good transaction coordinator is key. Having the right
yeah,
title company is key. I mean, we know as realtors,
yeah,
what do we say? Like a title company can break a deal, a lender can break a deal.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So yeah, that's what was for me. It's just a learning experience. I was not really attached to the money as much
mhm.
because yeah, obviously you want to be paid for some of the work we've done, but also the learning experience and the
Yeah, and
motivation of getting on the dial, call people and get more comfortable dealing with that because that's also you have good
yeah.
days and you have bad days even on
Have you
phone
gone
calls.
on Shad's cold calling thing where you can hop on and get practice making calls? Have you gone on that?
Which one?
Shad, I can't pronounce his last name. Starts with an
Oh
N.
yeah, I went to a couple of these Zooms, but I signed up to see if I can join the team at some point. I am also with another team at the moment, um, and
So
I'm
it's
using
not
a dialer, so it works fine. It's just I need just keep
yeah,
doing
it's
everything.
not really like a team that you're joining with him. It's like what it is he just lets you hop on some of his VA slots, whatever times work for you, just so that
Mhm.
you can get practice. If
Yeah.
something comes from one of the calls, then they'll push it down the line. And once the deal goes through, everybody will get their
Oh yeah,
cut.
yeah. I think that's the one. I think that's the one I signed up. It's the no excuse program or something like that.
No, 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 no. No, that yeah, he has a Zoom. Maybe that is what it's called. He has a Zoom on Wednesdays.
Yes, yes,
He'll
yes.
show you the platform.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're
yeah.
interested, you can sign up and get practice. Hop on the dialer. Okay.
Yes, I think that's the one that it's called. I think the no excuse uh,
Yeah, it
challenge.
might be because all you got to do is just
Yeah,
hop
just
on and
yeah. That's what I was thinking to do. Just mostly it's for feedback. Um, I've had a lot of. I've been calling homeowners now, but the thing is that once I hang up, I can see that something went wrong, but nobody was there to tell me and give me feedback. And sometimes I
not
don't
like on
know
the
what I did
Zooms,
wrong.
right?
Yeah. So when I have other people that can see you, you're focused on the phone call and you're dealing with that, and you skip things, and your mind is going all over the place. But the other people that are watching you may be able to pick things and dissect what you did wrong and telling you after you finish with your phone call, giving you the feedback. And that's
Right.
I
That's why I
find it
said we can
very
make
crucial.
calls together off
Yeah,
of the,
yeah.
you know.
We can record them and put them on, do them live.
Yeah. There you go. So are you in any other programs in sub two?
Well, I'm also in the Gator program, which I signed at the same time. I had that shiny object syndrome that we all get caught up with.
Yeah.
Um, but because I also don't have much money, so I can't really get into the Gator. Uh, I
That's
am
also everybody's
following,
story
yeah,
when
I'm
they start.
following it. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'm following it um, as a learning skill, but I'm not pursuing it at the moment because I cannot do both at the same time. I need to focus on one course for now, and then I can always get back at that later. Um, it just I signed up for too many things at the same time, and I
Yeah,
and then I had to choose which direction to go.
I did the same. I had to let the business buying thing go for a little bit because it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
the zero down. Yeah, I signed up for that too. Well, at least I didn't have to pay for it, but I did go through a few of the Zooms, and then I'm like, I need to stay focused on one because if I buy a business, then I'm dealing with the business. I'm in the business, and then that's where I just came out from 10, 12 years of running a business. And
unless you happen to find one where you can partner with the person and stay in there and keep running it.
yeah, well,
But that's a rarity though. That doesn't always
it
happen like
is. It is rare, and also, and there's probably most of them are retiring. Most of the people that are selling their businesses, so they want to be out, and some of them do want also some cash down. And I'm still back to the same problem.
right,
So I still have to go sub two and get some assignment fees and
right.
build up a little bit of cash, and then uh, do some strategies later.
Hmm. So, what are your future goals? And I mean, you're just totally doing the real estate right now, or do you want to like eventually, like once you get some traction and kind of get a process down and get your team set up or whatever, like what other programs in sub two would interest you if you got that up and running and freed up some of your time?
If I free up some time, I would probably want to go traveling a little bit.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. I think I worked hard a lot, and if I can manage to get um, enough business to bring a stream of income, or where I don't have to shop to work and clock in every day, I think
Right.
I would start um, relaxing a little bit over time. Maybe the wrong thing to do, but I have worked 6 or 7 days a week for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of ready to slow down at some point, but not yet. I definitely need to build up a little bit of portfolio properties that produce some income.
Yeah. So, and then too, like the places that you like to travel to the most, you could have like Airbnbs and just
Yeah,
schedule yourself in when you want to
yeah,
travel. And
yeah. That's definitely one goal. Um, Figure out
nice.
a way to create income even when I'm not present, or like this is something that can be done remotely too. I don't have to be in the States to do deal in sub two. I could be anywhere.
Right. Right. That's
Yeah.
a very attractive thing about
Yeah.
this.
So once it's it, once I'm being able to learn and get into the groove of producing um, some sales or assignment fees, and I can start investing,
Mhm.
uh, and I have a system in place or maybe a team, that's when you can start to be a little bit more flexible with some things. But for now, it's just focus and get up early in the morning and start the day early before everybody wakes up, and so I can get my stuff ready to go.
Yeah. Do you think you'd stay in California or do you think you'd just hop
I'm
around?
honestly tired of California. I've had enough of it. I live in San Francisco, and I've been here since '94, and it was a beautiful city when I moved here. I really enjoyed it. Uh,
I don't know what it is, but I feel like a lot of people, I've heard several people refer to this as the Great Reshuffle. Like in the
yeah,
future, they'll be referring to this time as the Great Reshuffle.
yeah,
So many people are moving.
yeah,
I think maybe the pandemic had a lot to do with that. It
oh,
made
yeah,
people like reevaluate their house and, oh, do I really want to keep living here? Now's as good a time as any to move. And a lot more working for home allowed people to move and affordability, and there's so
yeah.
many reasons. But I know I would have near future plans on changing my location as well.
Where are you
So
going?
I get it. It's like,
Where
there's a
would you like to
lot.
go?
North Carolina.
That's
North
one place
Carolina.
I've been looking at that place too. That's where I would. I
See,
was looking at the coastal area, like
we got to
Milton
stop
Beach.
telling people, Marzio, or else everybody will get there. We don't want it too crowded. We're trying
I've
to,
been looking South Carolina, North Carolina, along the coast. Um,
yeah.
that's actually one of the area where I've been starting to call and keep an eye on
And then also Ohio. My son lives in Ohio. And he just got married last
it. Okay.
week.
Which part?
He lives just north of Columbus.
Okay, I've been there once.
I've been there several times because he
Yeah,
moved there, but never before he moved there.
yeah.
Well, he works at
So,
Google, so
so you
uh,
asked me if I moved out of California. Actually, Carolinas, or I'm not sure about Florida. Florida is it is in my radar. I do like boating, so that's definitely a good place to play on the water with a boat. Um, Hawaii, sorry, Hawaii is another place where I like to be,
yeah.
um, but it's a little harder to move there.
It is. The reason everything is so expensive is because all the goods that aren't already there need to
Yeah,
be flown in or
yeah,
come in by boat. And then God, what happened to Maui recently? God
yeah.
bless. I mean,
Well, that's that can happen anywhere. It's just I think there was a lack of um, communication. Definitely,
mhm.
they could have prevented some of it, but that's an opinion.
Yeah, so much crazy stuff going on. But so let's see. What are some of your interests and passions outside of sub two? Like we know you like to travel. Do you have any other
Traveling,
hobby?
I boating. I like to go on sailboats, power boats. I don't
What do
have
you like
speed.
better, speedboats or sailboats? It's like
As
two different kinds of crowds. It's
I
really weird.
can't a catamaran, a sailing catamaran would be great, but I like sailing if I know I'm with people that know how to handle the lines and the sails, and they can
Yeah,
handle dealing with the
sailing is a
steering.
workout.
uh, I like power boats because um, they give you because you can go faster. You don't have to go in different direction, tacking, um, and people enjoy more to be. Your guests enjoy more a power boat because
Yeah.
they don't have to keep their balances out, especially if you have a bigger boat, with two engines and they're easy to control. Uh,
Yeah, sailboating is you definitely got to be a boat lover to go sailing.
yeah, um, I'll definitely do it in Europe, maybe the Mediterranean. That's part of my long-term dream goal to just spend some time on on the Med and maybe the Caribbean too. I also used to work on cruise ship when I was a kid, so that's
Wow,
how
tell me
that's
about
how I got to the
that.
States. So I've always been on the water, and I currently still work on boats. my part-time
Oh,
job.
nice.
So
Marzio, did you know that you can purchase boats subject to?
I know. It just I have a wife and two kids, and
And our top tier underwriters that just got certified through the transaction coordination program in Subto,
mm,
um, they are trained to handle cars, boats, planes, RVs. So that's another thing you can
okay.
do too.
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of getting a captain license to commercially drive boats. So I'm thinking
So like you
to,
could captain a yacht.
yeah, like a charter boats and doing on the problem is that San Francisco Bay is always cold.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cold
yeah.
weather. That's
That's
why
why I love
Florida
the
is on my
East
radar.
Coast. Just one of my biggest reasons I love the East Coast. The
Yeah,
water's warm.
yeah. And my wife is from California. She grew up about 50 miles from here, and she's not. She's. It's very hard to convince her to move. My kids were born here in
Really?
San Francisco, and they cannot stay away from here. And I don't know why. It's just, I
Oh,
think I need to
well,
force them.
I mean, have they been anywhere else besides Italy? Maybe you should take them on
We
some
spent
trips.
some time in Maui a couple of years ago. We spent like 3 months there,
Uh-huh.
and they were ready to come back. It's too hot for them.
Yeah, like book a vacation to
Yeah,
North Carolina, introduce them to North Carolina, get them to fall in love with it.
yeah. Is winter time a good time to go there, or is it? How is?
So, I'm right like in the middle. I'm in
Yeah,
Maryland. And I think North Carolina's not as hot. I feel like they have earlier springs and later falls, if that makes sense. Like
okay.
it gets warmer earlier and stays warmer longer.
It's a longer season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like shorter winters there. I haven't really been down there during the winter too much. I mean, it
Okay.
does get cold in the winter, but what I have heard is that it hardly ever, almost never snows. And if it does, and there's like just a dusting of snow on the
Mm,
ground, everything shuts down because they don't have the equipment to handle all the snow.
yeah.
They don't
Doing
have
that.
salt reserves or snow trucks or plows or anything like that. So that's what I've heard. But I've had my eye on it now for a little while.
Yeah.
Not quite a year, maybe 6 months or
No, I've
less.
been looking for over a year and keeping an eye on that.
Huh?
I've been keeping an eye for over a year on on the coastal there, and prices have been creeping up fairly quickly there too.
Yeah, because everybody wants to go there. It's so nice.
Yeah.
So nice. But
Um,
you got Myrtle Beach, you got Wilmington, Emerald Isle. There's a lot of really nice beaches in North Carolina.
yeah.
You got Topsail, you got, I mean, there's like a lot of beaches. I'm looking at that area all the time because that's one of my markets.
Mm.
So, I make calls and that where I'm at and then Ohio.
Are you calling agents or um,
I'm calling
oh,
agents. I'm
okay?
like direct to agent. I started out trying to do the sellers and discovered that sometimes you think your avatar might be one thing and then it turns out to be something
Mm.
else.
Yeah.
Just found out that agents, I like it a little better. Um, and the things that I like about it is number one, you can get several deals with them instead of just one. Number two,
Yeah.
they're not emotionally invested. They do have a job to do and they do want to get paid and they want to sell the property. But they're not emotionally invested and they, you know, there's like several reasons. And then two, I have, um because I'm an agent, I feel like
Mhm.
it's easier for agents to call other agents because they know that when you disclose you're an agent, that you understand their lifestyle and you understand what it's
Yeah,
like to be an agent. So they kind of let their guard down. They're like, I'm talking to somebody who knows what
yeah,
this is like, you know.
yeah. It's easier to relate. I can see that.
Hmm.
Um, I'm doing both. I'm calling also seller. The- I actually have a
Yeah,
uh,
don't limit yourself if you're doing well. I mean,
yeah. I'm calling Facebooks from on Zillow that are over 90 days and just see how you're doing. And I have a meeting scheduled for a guy coming from New York to San Francisco. He has a property for sale. He wants too much money. I have not approached with any number or any strategies yet. I just want to go there, meet the person in person, shake his hand, look at the property, and then we're going to discuss. Um,
that's another good thing about calling agents because the agents have kind of already done some of the work of bringing the seller to realistic
yeah,
expectations. You know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, if you call sellers, you got to kind of,
yeah, but sometimes they get in the way.
yeah,
And
sometimes they do.
talking to the seller,
True.
they are they may be more open to certain things, and the agent discounts what you're saying or the exit strategy that you may have in plan because it does fit their agenda or their knowledge.
There's
Um,
pros and cons to
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yes, of course. So I'm doing both, and some seller I think I can work with
So do
them.
you, oh, we froze for a moment.
Mm,
It's probably me. I think it's the area I'm in. I think there's just too many people on the internet in my
yeah,
area. I've switched providers and everything. It's just so annoying. Um, but what I was going to say is, are you a visionary or an integrator?
oh, that's a good question. Um, I would say a visionary more. I I can start something, but I can't finish it. I start a lot of projects, but I can't finish them. I, somebody has to finish it, or it's gonna stay unfinished.
I would love to give you this. Like, I remember how I said on the yesterday, it was yesterday.
Mm,
What is this, the third? Yeah, it was yesterday. I went to a seminar from Jim Quick. He's the author of Limitless,
mm.
and he specializes in like training your brain to retain memory longer and things like that, right? And there was a
I'm gonna write it
test.
down. Limitless.
Yes, Limitless is the name of
Okay.
the book. Hmm. And his name is Jim, and you spell his last name Kwik. And there's a test that he has where you take the test and it'll tell you which personality type you have. There's like four different animal personality types. There's a cheetah, an owl, an elephant, and a dolphin.
Mm,
Which one do you think I am?
I don't know. Cheetah or a dolphin.
That's so cool, cheetah. Yeah, but the cheetahs like they're like real precise and direct, and they're like the CEOs. But yeah, close. I thought I was going to be a cheetah, but turns out I'm a dolphin. The dolphins
Okay.
are like the creative ones, and they have the. You just reminded me of that because you may be that as well.
Mm.
But the dolphins like it sounded like he was describing ADHD, to be honest, because
I
it was
think I
like,
have it. I self diagnose myself all the time with ADHD
yeah.
because I really can't sit down and read a full book. I get bored with it,
That's why I do Audible.
and I'm doing Audible now because I can
I'll
listen
listen
to
to it
it.
while, and I can't just do that. I have to listen to it while I'm cooking or driving or
Yeah,
whatever.
but I find that I have to rewind and re-listen certain sections sometimes because I'm doing something and I kind of the Audible is in the background and I don't really grasp that,
Yeah.
and then so I rewind it because I know I missed something. But
But you know what though? The more you use it, the more you, because that's how I
yeah,
always was too.
yeah.
But the more you practice on trying to stay focused on that, the better you get at it. Here's the next one I'm doing. And I got the book as well.
Oh yes,
I
yes.
got this book as well.
I just
And
downloaded
I'm
that.
also going to do the Audible. So when you do the Audible, you get the mail out of
I
there.
just
When,
downloaded the
when,
Audible
when
for that.
Yeah, when you do the Audible and follow along with it at the same time,
Mm.
it's really good. And then the author of that has this planner that kind of goes with it.
I bought the planner as well.
Somebody told me about this. I know that Caroline is helping people through this
She
in
just
daily
got it
life.
last week. Yeah,
She did it last week.
yeah.
I did not see that. I just had somebody tell me about it. And I
She's
know
on
how,
the Wednesday Zooms, East Coast and West Coast, especially she does it. If you go
yeah.
back
I'm
to
going to check
actually
out.
this week and last week, Tuesday and Wednesday, if you can go back to the Zooms, you
That's
should
what I
be
was
able
going
to
to say.
find some of it.
Yeah, the vault. So is she reading the book or just going over the planner?
She's going over the planner. You have to have the planner to be able to join the raising your hands and do the Zoom, the conversations with her. If you don't have a planner, she won't let you step up.
I love how she just lights a
She's
fire
strict
under
in
your
that.
butt.
I like that, and that's part of one of the things that I really appreciate about the community. Is just there is people like Caroline and all the other leaders that spend time on training us and giving us all these things. The planner is not a sub tooth. It's just
Right,
it's
right.
just personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
and that's actually helping me a lot now in kind of starting to structure my day. I and I still struggle. I'm just started using it like a couple of days ago. So and I had anxiety just reading it because I actually had to put on paper what I was going to do today or tomorrow, and I have to look at it, remind me that I have to do something, and then at the end of the day, you're analyzing what you actually did, and so it's all there, and it's going to be back in my face again. It's like I didn't do certain things, right? I already know that I missed a few things today, but that's by day one or two. By the time it's a month or 2 months, I'm planning to have it dialed in much better so that whatever goes on paper, it gets done and be more disciplined about going through with it. Uh, so I'm excited.
I gotta look that Zoom up because like I just know how she is and I
Yeah.
just purchased them with the thought of catching up. But I just popped on one of her Zooms the other day for like 5 minutes
Mm.
and I had to jump off because I had to go handle some stuff. And that fast already on her background, without even being able to really engage in the Zoom, I saw a saying that she had on her background, and it said, "You can't lose if you never quit," or something like that. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm in here for like 5 minutes or less and pick something up really good
It's
that
true.
fast. It's
You
just
only
like,
lose when you quit. That's true.
yeah, that is true. That is so true. She's a great teacher.
Yeah.
She's
Learning
she's
a
a
lot. That's why I'm actually I'm in California. I get up at 5 o'clock and I start the East Coast Zooms, and then I do the West. coast if I can. Sometimes I have to deal with my kids getting up. So for me, having an earlier Zoom when everybody's asleep and I I'm on my own,
With the
it's
clocks changing,
it's
it's
gonna
going
be
to be
4 o'clock next week. Yes, 4 o'clock in the
earlier.
morning.
Well, for you, yeah. But
Yeah.
for us, it's going to go from 8 to 7. Don't you feel bad? Don't you feel sorry for us?
Oh yeah, I'll put you. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning, 3:30. I was working out, and then I was ready by 5 o'clock. I was super ready. I'm still
Right.
a little jet lagged anyway. That's why.
um, okay. So, since you are a buyer, I'm going to show everybody your buy box. These are the kind of properties that Marzio is looking for, guys. You don't necessarily have to be in sub two.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he can buy properties from anyone in or out of sub two. Um,
yeah. Creative financing, definitely. Um, and the price, obviously, there's always an exception, whether it's the entry fee, the cash flow, or the uh, 300K. It's it's just a framework, and then everything can be tweaked if the right deal is in place. Um,
yes.
you know,
So 300K and under, or do you like to just kind of stay around 300K?
it's just because it keeps me with a 10% entry fee. It keeps me under the 50K between some repairs or whatever. Because for now,
Yeah.
right?
What
Uh,
areas are you looking in? Is this like anywhere in the United States that you'll take a look at if it makes sense, or a specific?
yeah, but definitely California, but that side of the Bay Area. Um, Definitely the Carolinas, Florida, um, and anywhere else. I just would have to take a second look. I kind of like the pace strategy of the Sun Belt area because,
Yes, the smile, the sunshine smile, or something like
yeah,
that.
and it's not even just because the cold days people are not out, but like he's saying, but it's just um, winter. Where the winter is hard, it makes it. Uh, I don't know. Properties get beat down. It seems to be that they get beat down more between weather and heating. HVAC needs to be in. I don't know. Furnace is a very important thing. You can deal with a life without an air conditioner for a day, but without the heating on a winter storm, it's a tough one.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We haven't
so
had a
that,
bad storm here, a snowstorm here in a while in Maryland. I remember one year we had a double blizzard. I think my son was like 8 or 9 at the time, and now he's 26. So we're talking almost 20 years ago, almost.
uh,
So it was like we got like 2 or 3 feet of snow, and then like a couple days later we got 3 more feet of snow. But
oh,
that's
that's
like
happening.
rare where
Yeah,
we live, you know. I mean, we are equipped. We're ready for snowstorms because we do get them, but
yeah,
it's not like you can't take it to the bank or anything.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anybody that wants to get in touch with Marzio, here's how you can find him. Here's his Instagram handle, or you can find him on Facebook. And do you have anything you'd like to leave us with today, Marzio?
No, no. Thank you for your time for bringing me to your platform. It's good to see you. I met you when I first started, and it's been a journey. And I thank you for putting this together. Yeah.
You're so welcome. Thank you for coming on the show. Can I ask a favor of you for
Yes.
anybody who watches this now in the future? Let's see. I'm trying to what can I have you say in Italian? Guys, I heard Marzio speak Italian on a phone call one time, and I was just like,
Oh, we were cold calling, and this person was Italian, and they start talking Italian to them.
yes. I was like, wow, that was so cool. I love it. It's just one of those beautiful languages, you know?
I'm not
So
that
what
good
can you
anymore.
say? What was that?
I'm not as good anymore in Italian. I sound like a foreigner when I speak Italian.
But we don't know that.
So I can say grazie and arrivederci and buona fortuna con la Subto strategy.
Nice. Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you for coming on the show, Marzio. And let's definitely get together and make some calls. And then
Good.
maybe we can
Yes.
even make some clips out of it.
Yeah, that's definitely something we could do. Make some clips and post them on YouTube or any other social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank
Bye.
you, Marzio. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.